everybody, it's Jenna G, that's me, the hijabi from TNT, and welcome back to my channel. The last video I posted was on curry corn, and I did a very short video to see, what you guys would have thought about it. But you guys prefer the longer ones where I explain as I go along. So moving forward, I think I might just continue with these longer videos where I explain things to make it easier for you guys. So today's video we're going to be doing some okra rice. Now I did some khichdi some time back, which is split peas and rice combined. Today we're going to be doing okra rice, which is another very easy one-pot dish here in Trinidad that we just love very much. In today's video though, I'm going to be using this Smart Cutter 2-in-1 knife and cutting board to do some of the items. I'm going to be doing a review on this, but I'm going to be using it in a couple of videos a couple of times just to get an idea of what it is like, like if it's really worth it, if it makes sense, because we usually just use a knife or cutting board and we're good to go. But this is a 2-in-1. It sounds good, but let's just see how practical it is to use in the kitchen. So I'm just going to go through the ingredients for our okra rice, which are pretty much simple ingredients. So you have our rice, of course. I'm using parboiled rice. I've got myself some Ochro's key ingredient to okra rice, of course. I have my green seasoning that I made. This has shadow beni, some pudina or Spanish thyme, garlic. I threw in some saif as well. For my okra rice, I'm going to be adding some saltfish, but this is actually optional. You don't have to, but it just adds some extra flavor to your pot. I'm going in with some hot pepper, pimento, and of course some garlic as well. In this recipe, I'm also going to be using the complete seasoning from JGM. Now this has black pepper, it has garlic in it, some chili and oregano. So I'm going to be using this in the dish as well. And pumpkin, frozen pumpkin. This is actually comes in very handy. When it's just like, pumpkin is not something I use much at home, so when I buy it, I cut them up into small pieces and I just freeze them, so when it's time to use it, it's pretty simple. And I'm also going to be including some golden ray butter in the recipe as well. Alright, so I'm going to be opening this. It says in the back you can cut chicken, yam, cheese, just about anything with it. Now I'll be honest, I love kitchen gadgets, kitchen appliances. Just gets me excited, anything related to kitchen. So there's a nice safety lock right here. That's pretty good. So you won't go, slicing your finger or anything. Ouch. Okay, be careful when you're opening it, because it will snap here and like just happened with my finger. So when you open it, see it just pops out. My finger was here, so we just want to be careful with that. This is the cutting board right here, and this is your knife. So let's try it out. So I'm going to be using my 2-in-1 kitchen and cutting board knife. So I'm going to be cutting my okras with it. Oh, I am liking it. Now, normally if I'm using a cutting board, I'll put 2 at a time and cut it. So let's see. Yes, people, I could use more than one. And I can cut it up so it's not limiting me in terms of how much I could cut at a time. And it's actually very comfortable to use. This grip here is pretty nice. Now let's try onions. This might be a little hard. Actually, it's not that bad. So what I'm going to try to do, well, this one is a little bit more difficult. Okay, so the onions are a little difficult to do because I wanted to chop them up small as possible. Okay, so this onion was a little more difficult to cut, so now I'm going to have to use my knife. Well, okay, so you can take smaller pieces at a time, but not as easy, depending on what you want to do with the onion. Then we're going to be cutting our pimento. So normally what I would do with the pimento is slice it this way, like this, to get it into small pieces. Then I'm gonna have to use this, so I couldn't do that, so I'm still needing my regular knife. Clearly this is not for small items. So now we're going to put everything together. I have some coconut oil heating in my pot. Then I'm going to be adding my onions, peppers, and pimentos. I'm adding in my ochros. So on medium heat at the moment. Just going to lower it a little bit, and I'm going to cover it just for like 2 minutes. So it's on low heat, covering it just until the okra is a little bit tender. To this now I'm adding my saltfish and my rice. Mix it all up. Then I'm adding my coconut milk, followed by my water. I'm raising the heat back to just between low and medium. Adding my pumpkin, and I'm also adding my complete seasoning. Stir it around. So now I'm going to cover the pot just for a couple of minutes. Rice normally takes about 20-25 minutes to cook, depending on how soft you like your rice. For me now, I enjoy very soft rice. So the amount of water you add will depend on just how you like your rice consistency. A little on the harder side, a little on the softer side, but I like a little more soft rice. So I'm going to cover it. It's on medium heat. I'm going to let it, I'm checking it ever so often and stirring it also to prevent any kind of sticking, and we will add more water if necessary. So it's been about 7 minutes. Checking it. Smells delicious already. Now I'm going to reduce the heat again, and I'm just going to let it continue cooking. I checked it a little while ago, so now this is about 15 minutes after we started cooking it. This is what it looks like right now. So to this I'm going to add some more water, and now I'm going to raise the heat back to medium, and I'm going to leave the cover off and let it cook. You want to leave it until all of the water, most of the water, has been evaporated. And again, this is one of those dishes to me where it needs to be slightly sappy. I don't like dry okra rice. I don't like dry pilau. I prefer mine a little more on the sappy side, but that's always up for debate. But this is just the way I prefer to make my okra rice. So just gonna leave it, let it cook, check it back in a while. Heat is up on medium, cover is off. I'm gonna leave it alone. Alright, so it's been cooking for almost half an hour. So the rice is almost cooked through properly. So at this point, I'm going to turn the heat back down to low. If you want to add a little more water at this point, feel free, go ahead. Add some if you like to get your rice soft. But by the time this water evaporates from it, it should be fine and to my liking. So at this point, what I'm going to do is add in green seasoning and golden ray butter. Mix it all up. So it is on low heat, and I'm just going to leave it like that just until most of the water or the liquid from it is gone. 35 minutes into cooking, this is what it looks like. Our okra rice is finished. Water is still going to continue to evaporate from it. It's going to dry up, and that will be it for our okra rice. Okay, so that is it for our okra rice video and recipe. Now it's a pretty simple, delicious one-pot TRINI dish that you all will absolutely enjoy. It took no more than like 35 minutes to cook. Now again, like I keep stressing, cooking is something that depends on your likes, your preferences. So it depending on how soft you like your rice, the amount of water you use, the length of time you cook it for will vary. But just remember, when I do my videos, this is how I enjoy my meals. So you can use my recipes and my videos as a guide, but just remember, tailor it to according to your likes and your family's likes. Now, some things to note: the saltfish, I did not show you guys how I went about shredding it and stuff, but it's pretty simple. I usually buy the ones in the pack that you find in the supermarkets, and I just boil it for a little while, couple of minutes, and then I just break it up into small pieces. Now when you're using saltfish is already salty. The complete seasoning that I used in this video, that already has salt in it as well. So you want to be very careful on the amount. You don't want to get a salty dish. So what you could do is just add the complete seasoning to the end of the cook time, to the end when it's almost finished. Taste it first, and then it'll vary depending on how salty your saltfish was in the dish. And also, you don't even have to use the saltfish, but it just gives that extra flavor to the dish. So it's all up to you. You can leave it out if you want to, it's fine. And also the golden ray butter. I know there are many people who say golden ray butter is not good for your health at all, and again, it is optional. It just adds some nice flavor to it. And I mean, if you don't cook dishes that require the golden ray every day, I do see why not once in a while, you can go ahead and include it in these meals. Now before I go, I just have to give you guys some feedback on this 2-in-1 knife and cutting board that I used. It was handy for items or stuff that have some length in, so you just cut it holding it. But small items like the onions and the pepper and the pimento was not very helpful for me, but I'm going to continue using it depending on the different dishes that I'm going to be using in my videos, and then I will give a final review on it. So I can't really give a final review just based on cutting okras, onions and stuff, but I think I like it so far. The okras, it was very nice, easy to work with, and this small cutting board, I would say actually came in kind of handy. So it's not a bad thing to have in your kitchen if you're like me and just love kitchen gadgets and kitchen appliances. Why not go for it? It wasn't a bad buy. It cost me, how much did it cost me? This was actually $70 only. So $70 TT only. So it wasn't a bad buy and can come in pretty handy. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and if you did enjoy the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Check out the rice. Don't know what I'm going to have it yet with, but it goes well with coleslaw, and I'm feeling in a curry duck mood, so cook curry duck and okra rice. Why not, right? We'll try it out. So thanks for watching. If you did like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to share it with all your friends and your family. Don't forget to try the recipe. Check out my website, www.jennitythehijabbytt.com, for the full recipe. Send me pics when you do try it out. Let me know what you think, your feedback. It's always appreciated. And I will see you in the next video.